Picture of myself. We are waiting to connect to YouTube and Facebook. We are connected and we are starting the show. Welcome, 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 everyone out there in virtual land. This is your girl Nabor with Conversations with the Goddess. And today I have with me a very special guest who you guys already know if you watched or watch, tune into my other show, Awkward Menage. This gentleman is the host and creator for I was about to say social insecurity, the show where he talks about all the insecurities of the people out there in the world, and I felt like that would be a great time to discuss our main topic with him: relationships. Mr. D4, the man, the guest of the hour. Did you want to go ahead and add anything to that intro, sir? Thank you, sir. Yeah, of course. It was bound to happen eventually. Why not today? And I do appreciate you. He's last minute. Like, we had another guest for the show. Things were acting crazy. The guest bowed out. My other host is gone because it's just been a mess. But we're still here rocking. And again, our topic of today is relationships. Relationships. Relate and ships. I think let's start with what we were just talking about. Why not? Fuck it. We just had the thought fresh in our mind. The concept of burning bridges. I've always heard that, you never burn bridges. Growing up, this is what I was taught. You can't burn bridges. Whether you're in a romantic relationship, a friendship, you got a relationship with a family member, you're never supposed to burn bridges because you may never know when you will need that person. But my question is, why are we not supposed to burn bridges? Like, if the person is consistently treating you like shit or just, showing you anything other than what you desire, why wouldn't you burn that bridge? Why is that the norm thing to say? Never burn a bridge. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Right. Yeah, just the like. Yeah, let's take that one out altogether. I feel like I was telling you, in my personal experience with burning, I burn bridges all the motherfucking time. I give no fucks. And in my experience, when you're the one to burn that bridge, the other person always seems to want to try and, come back, get back, get back, because they know might feel some type of way and know, they were in the wrong. So let me try and come back next time. I fully believe in burning bridges, and I do believe that just because the bridge has been burnt doesn't mean it has to be forever. Especially when it comes to family, I burn those bridges all the time. Sometimes, we need that space, we need that time to get ourselves together, get our mental together, and then come back and resume the relationship and try to make it better than what it was before. Now, intimate romantic relationships, once that bridge is burned, your grass is cooked. You can't come back. There is no coming back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the question I had. So what's the difference? Do you know the difference? Go ahead, because I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm just now learning what the fuck. What's that word? I'm gonna go ahead with your thought, and I'm gonna figure it out. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got you. And what is romance? Ooh, excuse me. Hey,
Oh, you got some? You got some?
you ain't go get it?
No, did you get somebody to? Did you find somebody to join in? Who?
D4.
Yeah. We're going to.
Okay. So you have to have finances in order to be romance. I'm sorry, I kind of got distracted for a second. That's good. Mm-hmm. Ah, that's my favorite kind of gift, especially on 420. What? Okay, okay. Okay, so I see what you're saying. So, and I did Google those. We looking at Oxford Dictionary. So intimacy, you're right. Close familiar, I can't right or friendship. You're close with someone, or you have a friendship. It's just closeness, a private or cozy atmosphere. So, yeah, you can go to the bar and be in an intimate atmosphere. I can see that. And then, as far as romance, it says a feeling of excitement and mystery associated with love, a quality or feeling of mystery, excitement, and remoteness from everyday life. So I guess I kind of got yeah, I got my definitions all mixed up. Cause romance, when I think of romance, I think of not so much the excitement of everything. I think of romance as the things that we do for one another, which kind of cause the excitement that that feeling of love and who type thing. So that's interesting. Now let me ask you this: how do you feel? Do you feel that there is a difference between a relationship and a partnership? Why not? Can you put that in there? Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. No, you did. Mm-hmm. 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 You want to put on it? Yeah. I think for me, I see where you're going. For me, it's a little bit different, only because you're focusing on the ships and I'm focusing on more so the root word and just what I have experienced in my personal experiences. With relationships, we have That root word being relate, meaning we can relate to each other. And in my experiences with relationships, we can relate so well, but there is still that feeling of that hierarchy where I'm the man, I'm gonna do X, Y, like the stay in your place type thing. So with relationships, we're able to relate, we can come together, but there is still that hierarchy of I'm the man, you're the woman, stay in your place, I'm gonna stay in mine. With partnerships, the root word is partner. So when you're partnering together, there is no hierarchy. You're equals. You both move at the same pace. You're doing the same things to get to one common goal. And like you said, they kind of go hand in hand, but I think for me that's the biggest difference. When you're relating to someone, that's all you're doing really is relating. That might be askew. You could be in a relationship, but the man is the one taking care of all the bills and XYZ. When you're in a partnership, you share everything equally. Or am I just kind of like way out the box with that one? Right. There's that hierarchy. You're the father, she's the daughter. But you're not partnering with your daughter. You just have that relationship. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. No. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But see, yes, I'm glad you said that. Keep going, keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. True. Mm-hmm. And see, I'm glad you said the two things. One, you related it to business. And then I forgot the second thing, honestly. I'll come back to that too. I'm not here, y'all, but I'm here. um, as far as, and see, that's, you said as far as a business relationship goes, a business partnership goes. But there, when you're in a partnership, whether it be business, romance, whatever the case may be, even in business, if you're in a partnership, there is no hierarchy. No one is higher than the other. Like in your example, person A is good at this thing, person B is good at that thing. But we're both not good. One has a mastery in this, one has a mastery in that. So this person is focusing on this aspect of the business while I'm focusing on the other aspect of the business, and together we are making one, partnering. It's more than just relating in my eyes. But even with that, the business aspect of it, what about relationships that turn in romantic relationships that turn into marriages? Marriage has always been about business. It's a business contract. It's a business decision. It's a business move. when you're married, you're well, at least in the older days you were married, you know, you had the man, the wife was at home cooking for kids and whatever, whatever. That wasn't really a partnership. It was just that relationship that I have with you. You do this, I'm gonna go out and do that. You gonna stay in your place because I'm the man and I'm running shit, and you don't do nothing else. There is no partnership there. But the purpose of marriage was always a business contract. When it became about love and how I feel and not really how this person is gonna help me build my bottom line, I'm not sure. But that's interesting. So yeah, okay. I'm thinking, Will Sherman, I see what you mean. I see what you're saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, always. Right. Yeah. Yep. Facts. Uh-huh. Mhm. Yeah. And you know what? And I no, go ahead. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. And you know what? And honestly, what you were saying and trying to get me to realize clicked after I finished that last statement. That's what I was like, okay, I see what, because I said exactly what the fuck you've been saying, but you know, whatever. I get what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. So it's one and the same. You have to relate, but you have to be partners too. I guess in my experience, just what I hear from people and what relationship issues I hear more so, we have a relationship, but there is that disconnect because we're not partnering together. Are you currently in a relationship, D4? With Mary Jane. Okay. What about past relationships? What do you think is the actually hold on before I ask that question because I had another question. Let me just make sure we're still good for time here. He love you, baby. Not in love, just love. Remember that. Okay. Got you. Gang banging may not have been the right word, but okay. Shit. I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay, so we have. Let's see, how long have we been on here? All right. So my question is, I have two questions. One, we're gonna ask this first. Is do you think I was watching this movie and I don't remember what it was, but it was this concept. It had Shamar Moore. It was like one of the black exploitation films. But there was this concept in that movie that there is always one person in the relationship that cares more than the other. Have you witnessed that in personal life, or do you think that that's actually a thing? Yeah, that's why I was coughing. Hey, we smoking together. Always fucking up your shit, making you cough, cry. Yeah. Okay. Got it. So do you think that it is do you believe that have you ever experienced it or do you believe that with relationships there is that dynamic where one person always cares or loves the other more? Mhm. Yeah, please elaborate. Yes, I'm with you on that. Go ahead and go, boo boo. Mhm. 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 Facts. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Right. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely do agree with that, and I can attest to that too, because that was like one of many of our dinner time lessons my mom used to teach us as a child was just that. I mean, and I can't say that's every woman and every man who has that lesson in life growing up, but I would say, yeah, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. We've been live. Oh, you silly. Yeah, I can attest to that, and I think it is. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, yeah, I've also, yeah, I've also found too that it seems like it just again in my experience as a woman that we women tend to love more based on what we're getting out of the deal, whereas men tend to just love based on who you are and just your personality, the person that you are, not so much looking for those materialistic gains as women do. Although, again, that's not for everybody. We still have those cases where it's flipped, but for the most part, that's the way I see things going. Um, Women's love is conditional. Men's love, for the most part, tends to be unconditional. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. There you go. And I said it, motherfuckers. That's just the way. Again, this is just my personal opinion. None of it is facts. This is just what I see. Maybe I need to start a survey and start polling everybody in the world to find out. Get some statistics going on in here. Mm-hmm. Mm. You know what? Better late than never, though, right? Better late than never. Mm-hmm. That is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Say that again. Say that one more. Just give one more time. One more time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. I will also say that is right. That is that's not cool at all. And in my current relationship, there is one thing I did have to learn, and I still can't think of the fucking word. Maybe you can think about it, but it's kind of close to being intimate, but just being all touchy feely and I guess girly. Like I heard that a lot. Like I'm used to women, wanting to hold my hand and wanting to do this and wanting to do that, and you're just like, no, you're not that. So I had to learn to be that way, but it was always whenever you want it, you can get it. I don't give a fuck. Just let me know. But that's the biggest thing. You have to have that communication with your spouse. And like you said, if there is anything in your past that has happened that, they need to be aware of, make them aware of that. Let them know how to approach the situation. Um, because without that communication, it's gonna fall apart. It's gonna I don't know what you say. That shit is gonna fall apart. Without that physical aspect of it, no matter how well you may communicate, at some point I can see it strain or falling apart. You gotta do your part to get what you want. Make it work. What? Yeah. Yeah. It's it's a lot of work. It's not easy, and I think right now, today, we live in a society of instant gratification to the point where, you have a couple arguments with someone and you're ready to call it quits. You don't want to try to stick it out, try to work it out. You just ready to call it quits. Um, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. The sake of something, right? Yeah. Yep, I can see that. I can see that a lot. Mm, mm, mm. So I feel like I need to say that, ladies, when you feel like, you trying to, my philosophy in life, what I have learned in my life is the word starts with a big A. It's called accountability. And with accountability, what I have started to do is not look at what others did or didn't do to make a situation happen. It's what I did or didn't do to make a situation happen. What I can do better the next time to make a better outcome for the next situation. We have to be, it's not always someone else's fault. Oh, well, if he didn't do that, he would have got some pussy tonight. If he didn't do that, he would have been able to do X, Y, and Z. Like, stop making fucking excuses. It's just an excuse. Become accountable. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Right.
Come here. What do
Yeah.
you want?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, and oh right, that's what I was gonna say. You're just asking for someone else to get into the middle of that, even if they don't get into the middle of it, right? Like you said, they're going to move on, which is always the best option. Don't cheat. You ain't gotta cheat. Just leave. It's easier to leave. Again, unless you guys communicate, that big C. Usually having any type of relationship, you come to that understanding. Um, but that's pretty much what it boils down to. Yeah. Yes. Look, we see it in everyday life though when we deal with people going to church and they're not accountable for their actions. It's either God or the devil. You go to school and they did not do their homework. The dog. You go to work. Oh, I was late because of X, Y, and Z. No, fuck it. Just say you ain't want to come on time. You was pussyfooting around. Like, keep a spade a spade. Like, it all starts, ends, and begins with us. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I had this this thought. It's really funny. I thought it was funny anyway. But I had this thought that it's kind of funny how we have so many single women, single mothers who are capable of raising strong black men, but somehow these same single women, single mothers can't seem to raise a strong black woman. What is it? What's the issue? Is there something with that relationship? The mother daughter dynamic? I hear that, see that a lot. There's only one. Hmm.
What are you doing with your training? Your training? What? Training.
Right.
Does it work?
Hmm. Mm. Yeah, and I that's what I had to realize. Like I got a little mini me running around here. Like she's just like me, but we can't. She's not my enemy. We can't be at odds with each other. We can't be oppositional. I have to show her by example what I've learned and how to be better than what I was. So I started where you were, but this is where I'm at now. So, and shoot, kids fight, especially girls. They got that attitude. They always want to be right. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of ignoring the smacking and the eye rolling. But eventually they come around. But you have to, again, communication. You have to keep that communication open. You have to be able to, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it does. It certainly does. Hmm. No, there can be multiple vaginas. We just have to learn to get over ourselves. I listened to this. What? Mm, no, see, I let again. We got to get over ourselves because my kid, she does that all the day. But again, I have to realize number one, she's a child. Number one, she is a girl and has all of these hormones coursing through her body. She's going through puberty. Said, I'm a bitch when I get my period. So I understand, we have to learn to understand and like, relationships work. That root word, we have to be able to relate to our children. With our children, we have that hierarchy and we don't want to see them as partners, which in some cases we shouldn't because, of course, they're kids. But in some cases we can. So I let a lot of that slide. I don't focus on the small stuff. I worry about and I focus on the big stuff. So I let a lot of that slide because, yeah, she's smacking her lips and she's giving me attitude, but hey, she's helping me with her brothers right now so I can do my show, so I can work. Hey, I was too tired. I'm sick. She got up and went and cooked dinner tonight. Hey, she she's doing X, Y, and Z. She is doing what she has to do to keep the household running. So what is the point of just, every little eye roll, every little smack, making every little statement that she makes, every little thing that she does a big deal when I can say I was that way too when I was a child. Relate to your children. Relate to your girls. Mhm. 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 Right. Mhm. 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 All right. Oh hell no, you ain't no man. No, no, boy, you better sit your ass down. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, and see, and I think that's the problem right there. The man of the house, the woman of the house, whatever the case may be. Again, like I said, they are still children. I'm not compromising with you just because you're the oldest. I compromise with all of my kids across the board. Because there's one word that I said before that started with a big A that I want them to learn, which is accountability for your actions. There's this thing that I learned when I had my kids. I a lot of my research papers, to start when I was in college, had my daughter, was geared towards parenting. Took a lot of parenting classes, read a lot of parenting articles, um, wrote a lot of parenting research papers. That's why I know a lot of the stuff I know regarding some of the rules when it comes to it. If you hit the law involved, let me know. But, one thing that I have learned is that with parenting, you're not the dictator. You have to be the Democratic Party. Just like not in the sense of Democrats and Republicans, but you should be a democratic type of parent. We don't tell our children what to do. We give them choices. We teach them how to do critical thinking. So you can either do A or B. Sometimes it's just flat out no. Sometimes it has to be just flat out no. But we're not dictating to our kids who to be, how to act in some regards, what to do in some regards. We're teaching them how to think for themselves. So you have to be democratic as a parent and say you can do A or you can do B. You can have A or you can have C. Oh, you want a snack? You can't have candy, but you can have this or you can have that. Which one do you choose? Oh, you can't go there on Friday night, but this is what we can do. We can do A or we can do B. But you can't do what you want to do. Like you said, compromise, communication, teaching them those critical thinking skills and how to make the decisions for themselves. And sometimes you got to let them make the wrong choice. Sometimes you got to give them. I feel like parenting is a lot like being the universe in itself, because sometimes you have to give your kids exactly what they're asking for so they can learn that lesson and that consequence for themselves, especially if they're hell-bent on learning it and keep trying to do the same thing. Oh yeah, go ahead. You're gonna get a repercussion, but go right on ahead. Mm-hmm. How is it being an ass? Mm-hmm. Right. Oh no, no, and that's what I was saying. Not in the sense of the Democratic Party, like Republican and Democrat, but just in the sense of having like a democratic democracy. Th- you know. Okay, I got you. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. I got you. But I find it works. That they do. Sometimes I don't know what the purpose is, but I don't know. But no, I just is just again my opinion, my thoughts just on what I saw. I feel like maybe if I was, actually talked to instead of talked at as a child, I would have been a lot further in life than where I am right now. Mhm. Right. Oh yeah, I definitely know that. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's where I don't know, accountability comes in. Maybe some soul searching, some reflection, because that's we we should have different methods. Like I don't see parenting as being just that's not how it should be. And I found for me, shit, sometimes you gotta whoop ass. Sometimes just removing privileges works. I had a kid wash all the walls in the house just to get their phone back and get another chance at having their phone. So it just depends. You got to get to know your kids, talk to your kids, and then you'll know what form of discipline works, because each kid doesn't respond the same. Shoot, I got a 4-year old. You can spank him, he don't give a fuck. He doing the same shit 2 seconds later. Just sit there and laugh at you while you doing it. You gotta know your kids. Mm, yeah. Yep. But we are over time, and I must go. So, do you have any final thoughts, sir? Mm-hmm. You know, I got you. Yeah. You're not gonna add the end of that? Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you used to just say be a better friend to yourself more. Wasn't that the hashtag you were using for a moment? Yep, and I just piggyback off his final thought. Definitely check out his show. Subscribe to his YouTube. Check out the Facebook page. He's on Instagram. All that shit he said before. And again, learn to be accountable. Learn to communicate. Um, be a better friend to yourself. I think everything starts and ends when it comes to relationships is the relationship that we have and build with ourselves. First, we have to love ourselves. We have to know ourselves before we can love or know anyone else. Peace out.